As we all travel through the highway of life, when we're faced with challenges, we all have a couple of choices. One is to respond, and the other is to react. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And first, let's talk about the difference between responding and reacting. Let's say that you have some sort of a medical condition, and you go, you see the doctor, and the doctor makes a prescription for you and says, come back, in 2 days, let's see how you're doing. So you go back in 2 days. Now, if you've broken out into hives because you've taken the medication, that's a reaction. If you come back and your medical situation has improved, that's a response. So once again, that's the way it was explained to me. And at first, one of my first mentors explained response versus reaction. And to me, that's a pretty simple way to explain it. I want to go over with you a couple of things that happened this week with me in terms of response versus reaction. All right, first of all, because I am, almost as old as the earth itself, when it comes to taking a turn to be vaccinated, my turn came up relatively quickly. I'm not in the 75% age group. I am 65 to 70. So every day I would go online to see coronavirus news in Indiana to see if there was anything new. What's the response versus the reaction? Well, the response versus the reaction is the internet. People that are my age, the internet is something that's completely brand new, something that we don't know, that we don't understand, that we're not taught from the get-go. And when you're learning something new, it's a challenge for you. And over the course of time, because I wanted to communicate and advance and so on and so forth, I made the active decision that I was going to learn the internet to the best of my ability and how to use the computer to the best of my ability. And let me tell you, for those of you out there saying, well, that's not really such a big deal, let me tell you this. I have a lot of friends, obviously, that are in the same age group that I am. And more of them reject the internet, reject social media completely than embrace it. Now, to be very candid with you, I'm not somebody that's, hopping on social media every 5 minutes. I have a couple of people I spoke to about Facebook. They say, I've never been on Facebook. Well, and there are other people, younger people that you talk to, they're on Facebook all the time. They got their head buried in their phone, you're on Facebook. But my point is, I do it in moderation. All right, once or twice a week, I'll get onto Facebook just to see, because I get messages from this guy or that guy, but I'm not a slave to it. So I'm somewhere in the middle. That is my response. Now I want to go over with you a couple of bad things that have happened to me. Oh, by the way, I was vaccinated. Everything went super smoothly. I got online, made the appointment, filled out the form, went there. It was a smooth as heck operation. I was so pleased. It couldn't have gone any better. My appointment was scheduled for 9:40 in the morning. Being an old guy, I got there at 9 o'clock. I was home by 9:20. That's how well the operation went. So, and as far as results are concerned with that, the first day, there were no ill effects or anything like that. I went on Thursday in the morning. So Thursday I was good. Friday I was good. Saturday I was very, very, very fatigued. But now today is Sunday. I no longer have that fatigue. So what did I do? I slept. You do what your body tells you to do. All right? You respond to the situation once again. All right, now I want to go over with you a couple of bad things that happened to me. I'll start with the lesser of the two evils first. We have had, as many of you have across the country, some really challenging weather. You know, people in Texas, my goodness, it's no water, no electricity, it's cold, they're uncomfortable, and my heart goes out to them because I understand. Here, where I live in, near Chicago, we get a lot of snow, we get a lot of ice, we're kind of used to that type of thing, but boy, it's been pretty hectic, it's been pretty severe this particular winter. And coming home one evening, opening up my gate, I slipped and fell on my back, and when I say fell on my back, I mean slammed on my back really, really hard. And for those few seconds, those 10 or so seconds that I was on the ground, I was wondering, am I going to be able to get up? Finally, I had the courage or wherewithal, whatever you want to call it, to try and get up, and I got up. But the pain was sharp, the pain was severe, and it was not a fun thing to do. So I went into my home and figured out, like, okay, what am I going to do now? All right, I took a little bit of, aspirin and that type of thing to try and reduce the swelling and put a little cold on it so that it reduced the swelling. I'm responding, all right? I've had some back issues before. I know in the first 24 to 48 hours, you put ice on it, and then after that, you focus on the heat. So it's uncomfortable, but you do what you did, and really it was very, very, it was a very deep bruise. As a matter of fact, it's a week later since I had it, and I still feel the effects of that. But once again, I thought to myself, you don't know how you're going to feel until the next morning. So I went to sleep, I woke up in the morning, and there was some significant discomfort. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do now? Well, one of the advantages, if you can use that term, for the pandemic is that now the medical community has made itself available online. So you're in a position where you can actually talk to a medical professional, and so that's what I decided to do. So I got on the computer, and after overcoming the challenge of how to get in touch with them, I finally got in touch with somebody and got some advice on exactly what I should be doing. I followed the advice. Once again, I'm still in discomfort, but I feel like every day the bruise is healing a little bit. When your bones are as old as mine are, Eli, it takes a little bit longer. And every day I'm making a little bit of progress, so that's encouraging to me. And once again, progress is the elixir, so you feel better every day. And so my response was, instead of running off to the doctor, was, why don't I first do what's easy and get online and get some advice? Now to the third thing, the most frustrating of all. There's a place that I've come to know in the last couple of months that serves just absolutely outstanding ribs. And I'm somebody that loves ribs. So anyway, I went into that place, and they got to know me a little bit. I'm actually not all that bashful. I went in person the first time, and then after that I'm calling on the phone. But anyway, when I went in the first time, these people are the owners of the place, it's a mom and pop place, are trying to drum up some business. So they said, here, take this card. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp your card every time you come in and you place an order. And then when you get 10, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a free meal. How does that sound? I said, great. Stuck it in my wallet, go in every time, I check it off. And I've been going on a regular basis to this place for a couple of months. Well, finally, I reached what I refer to as immortality. I got to the 10th check off. My card was full. Oh boy, here we go, free meal. I pick up the phone to place my order. Nobody answers the phone. Very frustrating. I said, okay. So then later on, I drove down to the place, and the place is out of business. I got 10. They checked off my card. I'm ready to get my free meal, and now the place is out of business. Well, Once again, instead of reacting, I responded. So what did I do? Very simply, I called the Chinese restaurant and ordered some Chinese food. So once again, people that are successful in the road to life respond and don't react. It is key for a leader, especially, to keep calm and to assess the situation as it is, not worse than it is, not better than it is, and to make a response and not have a knee-jerk reaction. And because we're never going to end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's all get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.